Well, hello. Welcome to Life After 3D, episode 25. It's been a little bit of a while, hasn't it? There's been a lot of stuff going on the real life front. Since the last one, the Queen of England died, Rockstar Games was hacked, and GTA 6 was leaked. I was very tempted to do a video of that, with his thumbnail saying, "Oh, the secrets of GTA 6," and then just have it playing Never Gonna Give You Up by Rick Astley. Because an interesting fact is, even now I do get people from, I'm guessing legal departments or whatever from Rockstar Games that check that I don't blurt anything out about things that I worked on that may or may not have been released. When you work for places like that, you're under a very tight contract. You can never criticise them in public. You can never mention what you've worked for, anything that you may have done. So I've been a good boy, for 8 years now. I'm not liable to suddenly blurt things out. Besides, I'm not exactly sure how relevant anything I would know would be now, to be quite blunt. So yes, what's happened in the world of Wayne? Well, we had a family member in hospital for a week. That meant a lot of running around, and I've got a terminally itchy nose. I really apologise for this, but I've got a weird stray hair in my nose that's sort of going and tickling. So if I scratch my nose a lot, that's why. A lot of it's been running around doing that sort of thing, real life stuff. I start teaching again from tomorrow. It's Tuesday at the time of recording. I'm trying to get this up today because I've got nothing to do today and I'm terminally bored, so I'm doing this, which is the wife's idea. They have up my hours. I'm not sure what the final number of hours is going to be yet. I should find out in the next couple of days, but it'll be enough to sort of make ends meet. I won't have a lot of money to flash about, but I'll be able to make ends meet. So that's important. So that's a good thing there straight away. Although the way it normally works is your timesheets are submitted on halfway through the month, so then you get paid at the end of the month. Now obviously the next one, I won't have done from the 15th of September to the 15th of October, so there'll be less money at the end of October, and it'll be end of November before all the money arrives. Yeah, so it's going to be a tight couple of months. I am thinking of doing some more tutorials, commercial tutorials. I haven't looked down on what yet. I probably won't touch Gaia again because, there's plenty of stuff out there now. Not just the stuff I've put out, there's plenty of documentation. It's not really needed. That's the bottom line. And they are such a massive pain in the hole to make those because it takes, you're looking at about, a minimum of 3 weeks, normally more than a month to plan and do them. And there's not been significant changes or enough people using it to warrant any further videos on that. So I'm not exactly sure what to do things on at the moment. I know there's a lot of people making stuff on Blender. There's still plenty of mileage in doing various how to sculpt a fucking orc or whatever in ZBrush. Obviously Mudbox is dead in the water, has been for years. So even though I know that thing at the back of my hand, it's of no use to anybody. There's plenty of little workflow things I could do, stuff with the Unreal Engine, stuff like that. So, there's potential there. It's just a matter of finding enough time to record them and plan them out, because I don't do anything unless I can do well and planned out. Also, the university got awarded the best for computer animation and game design from The Guardian. We got 100 out of 100, which chuffed everybody. So without blowing our trumpet, I think there's a very good lineup there of people that teach this course. Even excluding me, right? There's a lot of people that really know what they're doing, and you see an improvement from when they first start the masters to the end, and sometimes the change is epic, and it's very rewarding to see. When you see somebody come in, you think they've got potential, but they're not quite there yet, and you sort of mould them and guide them through the maze, and they come out the other side, and you go, "Wow, you've actually turned out to be a really good artist now," and that's really rewarding. I've also been doing a lot of recording of music lately because my friend Gypsy Dave Smith I mentioned in a previous video, had a stroke. He's still in hospital. Not sure for how much longer. He also managed to catch COVID while he was in there, because of course he did. Same thing happened to my mum when she was in hospital. So that means that normally I would be, I used to play on a Sunday and a Monday night. Now by the Tuesday morning, the ends of my fingers were shot with playing, because the thing is with the mandolin, most people don't play it all night, because it has a lot of string tension, with it being a small instrument, and you're holding down at least 2 strings at a time, because the strings are very close together like that. Which meant it was normally the Thursday or Friday before I could even think of recording anything, and by then it was the end of the week, and I think, I can't bugger my fingers up for Sunday, so let's get done. I've had a lot more time to do that now. I'm quite proud of what I managed to get done so far. I'm going to have more songs than I need for the album, which is good, because that means anything that's not up to par, I can chuck out. So, obviously the music side is playing a bigger part in my life than it has done for a long time, because I've got the time to do it now. And as I've mentioned before, I was playing guitar especially since I was 6. That's long before I started 3D. So it's a deep interest of mine. So the weather has changed in the UK now. We're not all covered in a layer of sort of sticky sweat, which it has been for months, which nobody likes to talk about, but it's been happening to everybody, because it's very humid when it gets warm over here. It's not a dry heat. So now it's got a little bit, a lot more cold, and I think it's going to get a lot colder in the coming week. But I sort of like that, because it means I can wear my hoodie when I'm going out. And being a fat lad, wearing a hoodie makes me look a little bit slimmer than if I'm walking around with a t-shirt and shorts. I'm not a big fan of the summer, for the best of times. I had a second lot of blood tests to do with my gout. It's fully confirmed now. I had to have a week of, not living like a monk, but living very carefully. I'd done some tests myself to see what seems to be making it worse. The big thing seems to be lamb, of all things. Beef put to a lesser degree. The main thing though so far seems to be lamb. I tested this out by having a lovely diet of chicken and things and that I was supposed to have, and then had 2 kebab wraps on the way home, 2 nights running. And to say that I was in pain the next day is an underestimation of the century. But it proved the point. It's lamb. Or at least one of the things is lamb. The rest of it, I'm going to, just have to do trial and error. What will probably happen after a phone call on Monday coming is they'll put me on pills that will prevent the majority of gout flare-ups. I don't know what long-term effects they'll have, what else I'll have to do. I'll have to see what happens. So that's basically what's been going on. There's been some massive changes in the world of AI, because of course they fucking has. It's literally, if you're not aware, it's changing by the day at the moment, and sometimes by the hour. If you haven't seen the Corridor Digital video on how they trained it with their faces and what they managed to produce, I suggest you do so. The future is coming whether you're ready for it or not. I know a lot of people, and somebody told me this in confidence, that were at a recent sort of 3D conference. They were like, oh yeah, but it's only the shit artists that is going to take the jobs off. Wrong. That's not how it's going to go. The vast majority of low level jobs, yes, they will be taken straight away. So anything to do with advertising and stuff like that. Now I know people who do Archviz think they're safe. No, you're not, because I know at least one person is working on a render engine that is AI. You will make the stuff rough geometry of the room that you're doing, and then just say, I want it in the morning, the sun from the west, blah blah blah, and then off you go. This is already possible. It's already possible to generate complete texture sets. I've had to ask the university where do we stand on the use of AI, because it is cutting edge technology, which we have to cover, but also where do we draw the line on it? And obviously that's a discussion that's been had, and I'm guessing it's not the only course that's having the same discussion. It's a good tool, but the thing is, I made a post in a private news group sort of thing, and it was going on about this. I said, well, the problem with AI art was how it was released. Initially, when you had Disco Diffusion and all this, they decided in their infinite wisdom to make it open source, and there you go, it's on a Google Collab. That's a thumbnail, that is, isn't it? Now, this was great for development because loads of people were forking branches off and changing it. Like people saying, yeah, well, let's get rid of this stuff about like not allowed any, not safe for work stuff. Yeah, that's gone. Start improving the facial recognition, but and stuff like this, the anatomy. Unfortunately, because it was not a sealed unit like a company, imagine if, say, Autodesk had done this, or the Foundry, that would be a sealed unit. You wouldn't get to dick around with the code. Now, what this also means is there are no laws currently in place. I'll make you a bet. Now, it's fairly obvious that eventually, probably sooner rather than later, you will be able to get it to make proper, fully animated photoreal scenes. So theoretically, you could make your own film. The moment that happens and it starts stepping on Warner and Disney's toes on their bottom line, they're going to lobby very hard for some big laws. Unfortunately, the genie's out of the bottle. Loads of people have got copies of the code on the hard drive. I have. Can't run the bloody thing because it, I know some people have got it working with an AMD card. I've tried my best and I'm just like, nope, screw this shit. So I'll use the online version. And while they all can give different results, they're all basically using the same basic code at the moment. So I do think that the future is going to need some sort of regulation. But again, is that fair? Because then you're saying to the man on the street, yeah, you might have a fantastic idea, but you might and be a crap artist. You could be sitting on the next George Lucas or Steven Spielberg. There's, as far as I know, neither one's really good at drawing, sitting on a really good idea that they can't get over to somebody, and this would allow them to do it. I also said, and I think a lot of artists, including some of you that are watching this, need to get a fucking grip. Art is not about your tools or your skill set. They are only tools. The whole point of it is to get what's in here in front of somebody else's eyes. Or use it's music, right? It's not about your skill set. Remember in the early days of digital art, when traditional artists were decrying the whole thing, oh no, these guys are doing it faster and we're going to lose our jobs. Well, they didn't. They just had to morph into other stuff. We're in danger of doing exactly the same thing again. Now, yeah, you might have spent 10 years learning to be a 3D artist. I was doing it. This is 29 years, turns out. Now, that's a lot, well, majority of my life. You don't see me crying in the beer. Get over it. Whereas a lot of you that are watching this now have the time to at least put things into place with secondary incomes and passive incomes, which I've covered before, to make sure you have some sort of income going forward. I didn't have that chance because it happened like that with no warning. Now, I would urge you all to do stuff like that and work out another income, maybe outside of art. I know I had a bit of a laugh with a friend a couple of nights ago, and they were saying that one of the big things that's going to be a much needed job going forward is going to be chiropractors, because if you look at the majority of young people that have been born since computers and mobile phones have been born, they all have terrible posture, which means when they get to my age, they're all going to be knackered and need a chiropractor. So that's probably the best thing you can do going forward, and they can't AI the shit out of that. Anyway, I'm going to get going because I've been talking for 14 minutes and 8 seconds-ish. And I'll see you all next time, but hopefully that's sort of like give you all a bit of a motivational talk. I do find it quite interesting that other artists do stuff using AI and everybody goes, oh, this is great. I do it and they go, evil man, evil, stop doing it, Wayne. Not sure why that is. Answers on a postcard, please. Because it flummoxes the shit out of me. Anyway, I'm Wayne Robson, This Life After 3D. I will see you all next time. Bye-bye.